Hi, I'm Tom Sokolowski and I'm a nutritional therapist and functional medicine practitioner. In the previous video, I explained how endotoxins from gram-negative bacteria in your gut can get absorbed into your bloodstream and cause inflammation, and how this endotoxemia is linked with many health conditions from poor thyroid function and weight gain, obesity, to depression, cardiovascular disease, chronic fatigue syndrome or ME, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disease, and even neurodegenerative conditions. I also gave some tips on how to reduce endotoxemia. Now, some research shows there may be an even greater source of endotoxemia from certain food items in the Western diet. So the molecules associated with bacteria that stimulate the inflammatory immune response are called PAMPs, pathogen-associated molecular patterns. And the lipopolysaccharides I spoke about in the previous video are just one example of a PAMP. So unlike bacteria, which get destroyed by stomach acid and digestive enzymes and cooking, PAMPs survive and can cause inflammation in the body. So this study shows that processed foods such as meat products cause a rise in inflammation in the body, whereas whole fresh fruits and vegetables cause sometimes even an undetectable rise in inflammation in the body. And this study shows that chopped onions and bean sprouts cause inflammation in the body, as well as grated carrot and watercress. So if your vegetables have already been chopped or grated when you buy them, they're likely to cause inflammation. So a low PAMPs diet was devised for a study for 11 participants who could eat as much meat, fish and vegetables as they liked, as long as the food was only chopped, minced or grated shortly before eating. All 11 participants were previously eating a high PAMPs diet. After just 1 week on the low PAMPs diet, they lost weight by an average of 0.6 kilograms and saw a reduction in waist circumference of 1.5 centimetres. Their white blood cell count went down by 11%, and also their LDL cholesterol went down by 18%. All of this in just 1 week. So if you consider these figures, they would usually be interpreted as a 40% reduction in coronary artery disease if maintained, and also a 15% reduction in type 2 diabetes if the dietary changes were maintained. However, LDL cholesterol is not really the culprit here. As I've explained in my previous video series, 10 Reasons You Need Cholesterol, even so-called bad cholesterol or LDL cholesterol has been associated with a reduced risk in Parkinson's disease. So higher LDL equates with a lower risk of Parkinson's disease, or at least there's an association. Now this may be because LDL lipoprotein particles are actually protective against bacterial endotoxins, at least in mice, according to this study. So when you chop or grate or mince food, you're increasing the surface area for bacteria to multiply, and this seems to be a significant source of endotoxins and hence inflammation in the body. So to reduce endotoxemia, chop your vegetables or grate your vegetables shortly before eating. Consider mincing your meat at home before cooking it, and eat the minced meat meals immediately rather than storing them for later. Avoid processed foods containing minced meat such as sausages and burgers, and ready-made meals, especially lasagna and bolognese. Also avoid bean sprouts and watercress. Now, long-chain fatty acids can increase the absorption of endotoxins from these foods, so if occasionally you really do want to eat some of these foods, I would use extra virgin olive oil for cooking or as a salad dressing, because extra virgin olive oil is composed of monounsaturated fatty acids primarily, and it's also a rich source of polyphenols which reduce endotoxemia. You can learn more about reducing endotoxemia by watching my previous video, Endotoxin, SIBO and Thyroid, a vicious circle. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.